The chilling sound of footsteps echoed through the empty house, drawing me closer to an unimaginable encounter. The old Victorian house had stood abandoned for decades, its decaying facade haunting the quiet neighborhood. Legends and whispers surrounded the place, warning of the malevolent spirits that resided within its crumbling walls. Intrigued by the tales, I, a curious writer, resolved to uncover the truth behind the paranormal rumors that plagued the house. Armed with my camera and a determination that rivaled my growing unease, I crossed the threshold into the darkness. The air inside felt heavy and suffocating, as if it held secrets that refused to be revealed. The sound of my footsteps echoed through the empty corridors, amplifying my apprehension. As I explored each room, the feeling of being watched intensified. Shadows flickered in the corners of my vision, playing tricks on my already heightened senses. Creaking floorboards and the occasional gust of wind made the silence even more eerie. It was as though the house itself held its breath, waiting for something to happen. The attic beckoned me with its mysterious allure. With trembling hands, I climbed the creaky stairs, each step amplifying the weight of the unknown. The door to the attic groaned in protest as I pushed it open, revealing a space shrouded in darkness. My flashlight cast an ethereal glow, illuminating the forgotten relics of the past. At first glance, it appeared to be an ordinary attic, filled with dusty furniture and forgotten belongings. Disappointed, I turned to leave when a whisper, barely audible, filled the air. "Stay," it urged, sending a chill down my spine. The voice was ethereal, haunting, and impossible to ignore. Compelled by a mixture of curiosity and trepidation, I turned back toward the attic's depths. And there, in the dim glow of my flashlight, I saw her, a figure emerging from the darkness. Her eyes were hollow, devoid of life, and her skin was a sickly pale. She opened her mouth to speak, but no sound emerged. Yet her intentions were clear. Frozen in fear, I watched as she approached, her movements slow and deliberate, defying the laws of nature. Each step she took sent shivers down my spine, as if the very fabric of reality warped under her influence. Panic gripped me, but my feet were rooted to the spot, refusing to obey my desperate commands to flee. With a final surge of terror, she lunged at me, her icy fingers wrapping around my throat. I gasped for air, clawing at her hand in a futile attempt to break free, but her grip was unyielding, suffocating me as darkness closed in. The last vestiges of consciousness slipped away as her voiceless laughter echoed through the house, marking the end of my encounter with the silent visitor. Story 2. The Other Side. A simple seance turned into a nightmarish journey beyond the realms of the living, revealing the horrifying truth about the afterlife. In the quaint town of Greenwood, nestled among the rolling hills, a group of friends sought excitement in the supernatural. With the rumors of a haunted mansion on the outskirts of town, they saw an opportunity to delve into the unknown. Armed with their curiosity and a homemade Ouija board, they gathered in the dimly lit parlor, ready to bridge the gap between the living and the dead. As the group circled the table, they held hands and closed their eyes, summoning the spirits that lingered in the ethereal realm. Chanting ancient incantations, they sought answers to the mysteries that haunted their minds. The air grew thick with anticipation, and a sense of unease settled over the room. Suddenly, a faint whisper echoed through the stillness. The planchette on the Ouija board began to move, seemingly of its own accord. It glided across the board, spelling out cryptic messages from the beyond. The friends exchanged nervous glances, unsure if they were witnessing a supernatural phenomenon or a mere trick of the mind. But as the messages grew increasingly personal and accurate, doubt was replaced by a creeping fear. It became evident that they had indeed made contact with a force beyond their understanding. The room's temperature plummeted, and an otherworldly presence enveloped them, shrouding their senses in a veil of dread. The once harmless seance had spiraled into a nightmarish journey beyond the realms of the living. Shadows danced on the walls, taking on grotesque forms that seemed to mock the fragility of their mortal existence. The friends exchanged panicked whispers, yearning for a way out. But the door had mysteriously locked, trapping them inside the mansion's suffocating embrace. Whispers turned into ominous chants, echoing through the hallways with increasing intensity. The walls seemed to pulsate with a malevolent energy, threatening to consume them. They clung to one another, seeking solace and strength amidst the encroaching darkness. Suddenly, a figure materialized before them, a tormented soul seeking retribution. Its eyes glowed with an ethereal light, reflecting the agony it had endured in the afterlife. The air crackled with the energy of its presence, and an oppressive weight settled upon the group. Fear tightened its grip around their hearts as they realized the true nature of the spirit they had summoned. It hungered for life, for the essence that defined their mortal beings. With every passing moment, it grew stronger, its malevolence seeping into their very souls. The friends, driven to the brink of despair, fought valiantly to escape its clutches. But the entity's power was relentless, overpowering their feeble attempts at resistance. One by one, they succumbed to its grasp, their life forces drained until only empty shells remain. In the end, the mansion stood as a haunted monument to their ill-fated encounter. Its once charming facade twisted into a grotesque visage, forever serving as a grim reminder of the horrifying truth about the afterlife. The spirits that dwelled within its walls reveled in their newfound freedom, while the friends' names became a mere whisper in the wind. Lost to eternity. Story 3. The Visitor in the Mirror. A harmless game turned into a haunting experience as an ominous figure appeared in the mirror, desperate to cross over into the real world. In the sleepy town of Ravenswood, where the veil between the living and the dead seemed thin, a group of friends found solace in the realm of the supernatural. They sought excitement in the mysteries that surrounded them, delving into the occult as a means of entertainment. Among their favorite pastimes was a harmless game called Mirror, Mirror. On a moonlit night, the friends gathered in an old, dimly lit attic. Armed with their youthful curiosity, they set up a makeshift altar with a mirror at its center. They recited the ancient incantation with a mix of excitement and trepidation, their voices carrying through the still air. As they chanted, an eerie mist materialized around the mirror, encasing it in a ghostly shroud. The room grew colder, and the air crackled with an otherworldly energy. The friends held their breath, their wide eyes fixed on the mirror's surface, waiting for a sign of something beyond. Moments passed, their anticipation mounting until a faint ripple distorted the reflection. They gasped in unison as an ominous figure emerged from within the mirror, its silhouette casting an ethereal glow. It beckoned to them, its movements slow and deliberate, as if bridging the divide between realms. A mixture of awe and unease filled the room as they cautiously approached the mirror, drawn to the unknown. The figure's presence felt palpable, a haunting specter yearning for release into the realm of the living. The friends, intoxicated by their own curiosity, reached out, their fingertips grazing the mirror's surface. But what began as an innocent game soon revealed its dark consequences. With each touch, the figure's influence seeped into their beings, unleashing a torrent of despair and malevolence. The room's atmosphere turned oppressive, shadows twisting and contorting with malicious intent. The friends, once filled with innocence and laughter, were now consumed by darkness. Their faces grew pale, their eyes vacant as the figure's influence took hold. It whispered twisted promises and manipulated their thoughts, warping their perception of reality. Bound to the mirror, the figure craved escape, its hunger for life intensifying with every passing moment. It coaxed the friends to perform unspeakable acts, their innocence slipping away like a fading dream. Fear clutched at their hearts, but resistance seemed futile as the figure's grip tightened. One by one, the friends became mere vessels for the malevolent entity. Their once bright spirits dimmed, replaced by a chilling emptiness. Their laughter turned to mournful wails, echoing through the house like a chorus of lost souls. The town of Ravenswood fell under a shroud of darkness, its inhabitants gripped by an inexplicable melancholy. The friends, now lost to the world beyond the mirror, were forever trapped in a limbo between existence and oblivion. Their reflection, distorted and twisted, became a grim reminder of the horrors that awaited those who dared to cross the threshold into the unknown. The mirror, tainted by the encounter, remained a portal to the dark realm, forever trapping the souls of those unfortunate. The house stood as a monument to their tragic fate, its walls bearing witness to the horrors that lurked within. It became a place of fear, its corridors haunted by whispers and the echo of their tormented screams.